Hello, welcome back to my next video on Vedic astrology. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 64th Navamsa. After uploading the video of Amitabh Bachchan, in which I've used the knowledge of the 64th Navamsa, many people have been asking me what exactly is the 64th Navamsa and how do we use it, and how can you find out what is your 64th Navamsa Lord? So for that, I'll start with the simple method. The simple method is go to Jagannatha Hora and feed in the date, time and place of birth as shown here for Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, and then over this section where you see the planetary longitudes, right click anywhere and you will get various options here, and come down Lords of the 64th Navamsa, click, and once you're done, the 64th Navamsa is the moon. Now this is the easiest way to find out the 64th Navamsa. But for those of you who really want to know the background, the reasoning, etc., on how the 64th Navamsa Lord is determined, then I would like to explain using the same chart of Amitabh Bachchan. So let's have a closer look at the ascendant. This ascendant falls in the sign of Aquarius or Kumbha, and you all know that one sign is 30 degrees long. Now in a Navamsa chart, this 30 degrees is divided into 9 parts, as the name suggests. Nava means 9. So what I've done is I've just shown you the same sign divided into 9 sections. And let's zoom in a little bit. So here you see that there are 9 divisions, and Amitabh Bachchan was not born in the first division or the second or the third or the fourth, fifth or the sixth, but he was born in the 7th part of the 9 parts. Now each part is 3 degrees and 20 minutes of the arc: 320, 640, 10, 1320, 1640, 20. So this place where you see I put the number 7 is actually between 20 and 2320. So let's go back to Jagannatha Hora and check this out. So longitude, you find it is 20 degrees and 13 minutes. This is at 3:56 p.m. Now we know at least the ascendant falls in the 7th Navamsa of Kumbha. So let's zoom out so you can have a look at this. Now you have to find out in the horoscope of Amitabh Bachchan, you find that in the Navamsa chart, you find the Lagna here. How did this Lagna come over here? Now that is the next point. So if you know it is the 7th part, then how do we place it over here in the Navamsa chart? Now this sign, which is Aries, is a mobile sign, and this one over here, Cancer, is a mobile sign, and Libra is a mobile sign, and Capricorn is a mobile sign. Counting, or the starting point of the Navamsa counting in the Navamsa chart always starts from any of these 4 mobile signs only. Never does it start from any other place. Now, if the 7th part is the exact rising sign of Amitabh Bachchan, then where do we start counting from? That's the next point. Now, from here, you look at the same place, the 5th house and the 9th house. If any movable sign is in any of these houses, that house becomes the starting point. So you know that this is where the ascendant is, and this is not the mobile sign, and this is also not a mobile sign, but this one is a mobile sign. This one is Thula or Libra. So the counting starts from here, and count 1. If Amitabh Bachchan was born in the first Navamsa, which is the first part of this sign, instead of being here, he was born here, this will be his Navamsa Lagna. If he was born in the second part, this could be the Navamsa Lagna. Third part here, fourth part here, fifth, sixth and seventh. Therefore, in his chart, the Navamsa Lagna must be here. If he was born in the next Navamsa of this Lagna, then in that case, the Navamsa Lagna would have been here. Now, what is the 64th Navamsa? Now, this is the first Navamsa. So, what is the 64th from it? There are only 12 signs. So, you start shifting. This is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and go on. This is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This is a very long process. Instead of that, you keep it over here and say 12 signs are there. 12 5s are 60. So, after making 5 rounds, you will find this happens to be the 60th Navamsa Lagna. And this one is the 61st. And this is the 62nd, 63rd and 64th. If you want to do this in the simplest manner, instead of doing all this 12, 12, 12 and then saying, okay, where is that? Instead of that, straight away count the 4th from the Navamsa Lagna. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now this is the 64th Navamsa. So when you go back to this Navamsa, you find, so this is exactly the same as shown here. The 64th Navamsa is the moon, because the moon happens to be the lord of this sign, Cancer or Karkadaga, which is the 4th from the Navamsa Lagna. Now that we have understood what is the 64th Navamsa and how to calculate it, let's move on to the next topic. How do we use the knowledge of the 64th Navamsa? So let's go back to the horoscope of Amitabh Bachchan and find out the date of the accident, which is July 26th and 1982. During that time, what was his Dasha and Antardasha? You find that the Dasha of Saturn is 1971 to 1990. So click on this, and then within this long 19 years period, you will have to go to this section where 1982 is covered, 1982 to 1983, and this is the moon. So the accident happened during Saturn Mahadasha, Shani Mahadasha, and the moon Antardasha, Chandra Bhukti or Chandra Antardasha. So we have to focus on these 2 planets. Now we have to watch these planets in transit with regard to his horoscope. This is a horoscope cast for July 26, 1982 when the accident happened, and over here you see the Rashi chart, and you see that Saturn and moon are together in the sky. Now you find why it happened on 26 is because 26 is a Saturn number. So Saturn and the moon are together, and it is happening on a July 26th, and these 2 planets are in the 8th from his Lagna, because his Lagna is Kumbha Lagna, and so counting from there it comes here. But how do we relate this to the 64th Navamsa? The first point is, moon happens to be the 64th Navamsa lord for Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. So moon is the Karish. The term Karish is used to denote the lord of the 64th Navamsa. So when Saturn and the moon came together in the 8th place from the Lagna of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's horoscope, you find the accident happened. We are discussing the 8th house here, and what has the 8th house to do with the 64th Navamsa? Is there a relationship between the 64th Navamsa and the 8th house? So that's the next topic that we are going to cover. To answer this question, let's do a little bit of calculation. So 3 degrees and 20 minutes is 1 Navamsa. You want to convert this into a decimal format. It is 3 degrees and 20 minutes becomes 3.333. Goes on like this. And this into 64. Sorry. This into 63 Navamsas, because we are doing the 64th Navamsa. So 63 must be over. And if you multiply by 63, you get 209.999. This is equal to 210. So 210, if you divide this by 30 degrees, because each sign or house is 30 degrees long, you get 7 full houses have passed by from the exact Lagna degree. Therefore, the 64th Navamsa is actually the peak point of the 8th house. If you want to recheck on what we have done, let's look at Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's chart and click here houses, and you will get the houses here. So the first house midpoint, if you want to use the word cusp, it's fine, but actually it is the midpoint of each house, and the midpoint of the Lagna is 20 degrees Aquarius, and here it is 20 degrees Aquarius and 13 minutes, and the 8th house is 20 degrees Virgo and 13 minutes. This exact point over here is the 64th Navamsa, because this is what you get if you add 210 degrees to 20 degrees Aquarius and 13 minutes. So the 64th Navamsa is over here. Let's zoom in. So you find this is 20 degrees and 13 minutes. Now let's go back to the date of the accident, and you find Saturn is very close to this point, 23 degrees Virgo, and the moon is also at 21 degrees Virgo. It is in that zone which is ruled by the moon, because moon is in Hasta Nakshatra, which is ruled by the moon, and Saturn is in Hasta Nakshatra, which is ruled by the moon. And now if you recall that the accident happened in Saturn Dasha and the moon Bhukti, everything looks very clear. You get better results by using the transit of planets with regard to the ascendant. You get more specific results than if you use it with reference to the moon sign. So we have now come to the end of this video, and in this video we have understood the 64th Navamsa, how to calculate it and what is it, and then after fixing what exactly is the 64th Navamsa, we made use of it by finding out the Karesh, which is the moon, and next we used the knowledge of the Dasha and Antardasha and found out what are the planets involved. So we know Saturn and the moon. Then we also looked into the date of the accident, and we found that these two planets, the Saturn and the moon, came together in the 8th house, and that too exactly on the 64th Navamsa. We have come to the end of this video. In case you have any doubts, please type them out in the comment section, and whenever I find the time, I'll answer them for you. And see you soon in my next video.